It is authentic fan night at the ballpark as the Sox try to win Game 2 of this series and take the series against Minnesota on a beautiful night for baseball after the long rain delay yesterday. Nice to see the sun. Thanks for joining us. Jason Benetti, Steve Stone along with you. And last night, a career high tying 4 RBIs for Yolmer Sanchez in a couple of big spots.
Yolmer was having a bad June, but now it's been put to rest as he's starting to swing the bat from both sides of the plate. And last night, the big hit came from the right side, but he's been doing it from the left side also, and this was Sunday out of the ballpark. So Yolmer, 4 for 9 the last couple of games with a home run, 5 driven in. And swinging the bat right-handed is a good thing. He came in hitting .210, but he delivers in a big spot. Sox pulled away from Minnesota last night in a very wet evening, and Yolmer saluting Noah, his young son, with the ears of the mouse.
Indeed, indeed. The Sox lineup is deeper right now. That is without question because of the return of the Garcias.
It's the stereo Garcias. We'll show them both to you as Avi is swinging the bat very well. And last night he got a hanging breaking ball, but before that he drove in a big run. This against Oakland as the Sox won that ball game on Sunday. Moncada scoring. And last night he got that rolling breaking ball, took it out of the ballpark. As the Sox went on to win in a game that was hotly contested early. Leary had 3 hits last night, this one through the right side. He's 9 for 9 in stolen bases and swinging the bat very well, again from both sides of the plate. This was a big one in an inning that essentially put the game away, and the Sox were never headed after going up 5-4.
Sox are going to have to take their swings against a guy who not only has been very good against them in his career, but has been very good recently, Kyle Gibson.
Kyle Gibson over the last 6 starts has been brilliant, and overall the former #1 draft pick is throwing very well. He's 6-2 lifetime against our Sox, and now he's using a lot of high fastballs. He's added the curveball to his repertoire, and he's been really tough to hit. 5 straight starts, ERA below 2. So Gibson, in 15 starts this year, has an ERA of 3 1/4 against our Sox lifetime, 2.42 ERA. See the 6-2 record. James Shields gave up 8 runs, only 2 of them earned, so threw the ball pretty well, and he is keeping his team in the ball game and staying out of the bullpen, which is a good thing. He'd like to win a few more games, however.
Game 2 of this series, Sox and Twins. See if Shields can get the victory. And speaking of Twins, there they are. Chuck Garfien and Southpaw, forever, for always. Sox offense revved up late last night. See if it happens again tonight.
Toyota, tested, trusted, Toyota. Toyota, tested, trusted, Toyota. Toyota, let's go places. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all. By Lexus, who encourages you to experience amazing. And by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Miller Lite, hold true.
Polish Heritage Night at the ballpark tonight. Some dancing, some music, and some blue sky overhead. The Sox and Twins, game number 2 of 3. James Shields on Authentic Fan Night takes the field with the White Sox, and here are some of your posts already. Hashtag Authentic Fan will be showing them throughout the ball game tonight. A family affair, some bunny ears while you're at it. Take a picture with the trophy. Hashtag Authentic Fan. All night tonight. Oh, little Paulie. Little Paulie the Pooch.
Paulie can hit too.
Yeah. Good 4-pawed backswing. Here's the Webb Auto Group starting lineup for Paul Molitor. A lot of lefties once again. Mauer, Escobar, Rosario, very dangerous at the top. Dozier, Kepler, and Grossman, Cave, Adrianza, and Wilson, your starting 9.
Defensive setup for our Sox presented by UI Health. And this is how Ricky Renteria is going to put him out there today. It's Asterio Garcia's left and right. Charlie Tilson playing center field, his natural position. Then it's Yolmer, Tim, Yohan, and Jose in the infield, with Omar Narvaez getting the nod behind the plate, and our Lexus Experience amazing starting pitcher is James Shields. Does 2-9 this year, his ERA a little above 4.5. He has been an innings eater. He's got 100 of them, hoping to keep these Twins close. They got a pretty good offense, especially against a right-hand pitcher. Umpires for the game tonight, Pat Hoberg has the plate. Then it's Nick Lenz at first, Mark Carlson at second, and the crew chief, Jerry Davis, is at third. So Minnesota trying to keep in touch with Cleveland. 7.5 games back coming in. Detroit right there with them, 8 games back, although they've lost 7 in a row. And what they do at the trade deadline is going to be very much dependent on, can they keep close enough to Cleveland to make a difference? The reason being, the wild card is not coming out of the Central this year. You don't win the division. As you can see, the Indians right now, despite being only 8 games over, pulling away in the division. Our White Sox at 16 back. A lot of good-looking jerseys here at the park tonight on a gorgeous night for baseball. And they've thrown the ball around the infield. Joe Mauer comes ambling to the plate, which means we're ready to play baseball. And I'm ready to turn it over to my well-fed today play-by-play partner, Jason Benetti.
Thank you, Steve. I feel 5 pounds heavier. Always great food here at the ballpark. And Joe Mauer will lead off. Then Escobar and Rosario. Sox trying to win the series behind James Shields, who last time he saw Minnesota, it was at Target Field back on the 7th of this month. His first pitch is away, and it's ball one.
Joe usually has fairly long at bats, so he's not worried about striking out. He's walked more than he has fanned, and he does take a lot of pitches, making him the perfect leadoff hitter.
More than 4 pitches per plate appearance for his career for Joe Mauer, with an on-base percentage nearing 400 for his career.
Pretty impressive now that he doesn't catch anymore, now that he's playing first base mostly. He doesn't have a whole lot of power these days.
Big chopper, Narvaez for round number 1. Time now for Eduardo Escobar takes on the Sox today by AARP. Former Sox player in 10 games against the Sox, 6 doubles of his major league leading 33.
Batting average up over 400 and slugging percentage a robust .917. He's dangerous from both sides of the plate, but especially from the left side.
Escobar last night had a single in the 3rd, and he was thrown out by Leori Garcia trying to stretch it to 2. Twins as a group do not have a great batting average. They're .237. That's 23rd in Major League Baseball. On base percentage 24th in baseball, and part of the reason they're 7 under. With the shift on, 0-2 in the dirt. Now, James Shields, last 11 starts, 8 have been quality starts. Last time out, some unraveling defense hurt him with 4 2/3 to his name, 8 runs, just 2 earned.
That's normally going to get you a loss, and that's exactly what happened.
Two and 2 on Escobar. On the ground to first base. Abreu claims it, and there's out number 2 as we check in for the first time tonight with Chuck Garfien. Hi, Chuck.
Hey there, Jason. Going into this game, James Shields is 2-9, but Rick Renteria says that record is irrelevant for what he is doing on the field, on the mound so far this season. He is eating up innings. He's keeping the White Sox in games, and he's saving the bullpen. Rick Renteria says he's reinvented himself. We talked a lot about that, but he's found a way to make himself relevant again, and he has opened eyes, not just with the White Sox organization, but throughout the majors by what he's been able to accomplish this season on the mound for the Sox.
Yeah, you look at the average length of starters, Chuck, for the Sox right now, guys currently in the rotation. Shields is the leader there, and when you have a youngish bullpen with some veterans mixed in, James Shields has saved the day in terms of volume. To second, Moncada keeps it around his body and throws out Rosario. All on the ground for Shields in the first. Sundays at the best price. Go to webcars.com. The lefties who were out yesterday are back in. Polka in the 4th spot. Narvaez in the 8th position. Charlie Tilson in the 9th spot.
Defensive setup for the Twins presented by UI Health, and this is how Paul Molitor is going to put them out there with Rosario, Kepler, and Cave in the outfield. Escobar, Adrianza, Dozier, and Maurer in the infield. Bobby Wilson has the plate, and our Lexus Experience Amazing starting pitcher is Kyle Gibson. On for his 16th start, his ERA is good. The win-loss record is not. Look for a much improved curveball. He's using it well, and with it, the high fastball comes behind it.
On the ground to first, Maurer gives some ground and finds Gibson for out number 1. Moncada grounds out, and the Sox day is underway with the bats. Kyle Gibson, you've talked about it before. Sinker ballers in the first inning sometimes are very gettable, but Gibson this season especially has changed that completely. His ERA sub 2 in the first inning this year.
I think that has to do with the secondary pitches. When you take a look at this stat, you realize why he goes to them, but you see the disparity. I mean, for his career, it was awful. But the first inning this year, he's been close to unhittable. Opponent's miss rate on his breaking pitches, 53.8%. That's the highest of any qualified starter. So that shows you that because he's gone back to the curveball, starting to throw it more, and using it with the slider that he's had, guys just aren't squaring it up. The league average is 33.5, so you keep missing his breaking ball.
And he doesn't have to rely on a sinker that might not sink in the first inning.
I mean, that's probably the most difficult thing for sinker ballers, is establishing the first couple of innings until the ball does sink.
That ball's down 2-1 on Sanchez. Gibson, now you combine the slider and the curve, that's about 30% of his pitches.
And the sinker and the four-seamer diametrically opposed, but still both fastballs.
Yeah, but to the point that you were making, that number for slider plus curveball was significantly lower in previous seasons. So about a third of the time you're seeing it, and why wouldn't you throw it if you're getting swings and misses as much as he does?
And he was primarily slider the last few years, and he wasn't getting a whole lot of people out. And the curveball's been his best weapon, and we should see it fairly soon.
3-1 flies away. Sanchez takes a walk, his first in his last 7 games. And he's on with 1 down for Abreu.
Gibson is an under 500 pitcher in the major leagues, but they didn't think that when they drafted him. He was the #1 draft pick for these Twins.
He's out of Mizzou in lovely Columbia. Originally a draft pick by the Phillies in the 36th round out of high school in Greenfield, Indiana. And played for Mizzou, that was still a Big 12 school.
And developed both physically and emotionally to the tune of first-round draft pick, 22nd overall in 2009. Just now coming together, you see he is under 500, but if he continues with the numbers he's putting up this year, that's going to change quickly.
You kind of wonder if that opportunity even would have been there if not for the injuries to the Twins rotation coming into this season.
Oh, they probably wouldn't have. And Lance Lynn wouldn't have been a Twin at this point, but for the guys that they couldn't use, and many of them still not back. Jose should see a hittable pitch here.
2-0. In the air, right-hand side, and an odd route by Cave, but he's there for out number 2 as we tell you what you're going to see on our telecast of White Sox baseball tonight. You can be included. #AuthenticFan. We'll share some of your posts throughout the telecast. Big day in Charlotte, day baseball for the Knights. And then around Major League Baseball, a tremendous defensive play and a barrel roll in Milwaukee. We'll show it to you later on.
You can't beat that.
Oh, no.
Defensive play and a barrel roll. You could have either or, but when you get both, it's unusual.
Well, especially in Milwaukee when they are prone to playing roll out the barrel. Very on the nose. 2 out for Polka. And he sees a breaking ball first.
That's the first hook, and it was a good one. Outfield very deep all the way around, and Kepler pretty much straight away, maybe a couple of steps to the right of center.
some more lethal contact from Polka on Sunday. That ball he hit was just torched. Sanchez at first, and he'll draw a throw from Kyle Gibson, the 30-year-old right-hander. One and two. We were telling you about the ball that Polka hit on Sunday. The Crown Prince of StatCast strikes again. 115.
Launch angle of just 18, so that was a line drive rocket and got out of the park in a hurry.
One, two. Upstairs at 91. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
If you're going to throw some curveballs, it helps to throw a high fastball because they're coming out of the same spot, and the hitter's not going to be able to recognize it quite as quickly as he would like.
Are you suggesting you might throw a curveball here after the fastball?
I think he's going to go right back to another high fastball. I think that he threw the last one higher than he would have liked and not enticing enough for Daniel. Daniel ever starts laying off that high fastball, he's going to be even deadlier than he is now.
He went downstairs and he broke it inside. Polka strikes out. Sanchez stranded, no score after 1.
Later in tonight's game.
Everybody's dancing at the ballpark. Last night, the young man in the electric green shirt.
That guy was very excited.
I think White Sox dance contest at some point later this season. And we'd like to welcome all our viewers watching on Van Horn Cablevision in Van Horn, Iowa, not far down the road from the hometown of plate umpire Pat Hoberg. He's from Urbandale.
Is that close to Fertile?
I'm not sure.
That is where our authentic fan came from, Fertile, Iowa.
And there's Pat Hoberg from Urbandale.
A lot of Iowans around here.
Oh, yeah. Chuck will be chatting with our authentic fan, Logan Brown, later on about his go-karts and his White Sox memorabilia collection. Not Chuck's, Logan's.
And don't forget the tattoos.
Oh, yeah. Charlie Tilson's first chance in center as a Sox player this year. And it's out number 1.
It's a big start for Charlie in center field. The reason being that if he is going to stick with the ball club eventually, he's going to have to show that he can play center field. That is his natural position. He's got all kinds of speed, and he plays it pretty well. We just haven't seen it because he's been in left field. But with Leary coming back and healthy, time to show you can play some center is now for Charlie, who is healthy this year, and he's really come on and had a solid season to this point.
I mean, it's pretty simple, right? When you're trying to get into the lineup, the more positions you can play, the better chance every day you're going to be in.
Yeah, look, and if you're not going to steal 80 bases, and nobody really does in this day and age, and you have the kind of bat that Charlie has, you're going to have to show you can play center. Because without the power and the RBI from a corner outfield position, you got to play center field. That's how he can really help the ball club. So he and Adam Engel trying to do the same thing, show that they can play the position, which we certainly know Adam can, and show that they can hit up here.
He went around 1 and 2 on Kepler.
Kepler's another one of those guys that played right field. Terrific athlete, and he's shown that he's a very good center fielder. But center field belongs to Byron Buxton when he gets healthy, and they've been saying that for a lot of years now.
And you look at Buxton's numbers for prior to his injury, he's been a slow starter his entire career. That happened again this year.
Then they sent him down on a rehab. He had migraines. They sent him down to rehab. Then he broke a bone in his foot. So doesn't matter what he does, he can't seem to stay very long on the field. But when he does, he's very impressive.
Shields goes downstairs for strikeout number 1, 2 down here in the second inning.
Good slider down and in, and Kepler over the top. So James has got very good stuff tonight. Watch the bite on this one. Starts out down the middle and then bites low and in, and Kepler can't catch up.
So 2 down for Grossman, who gets the start today. Logan Morrison the day off.
Grossman's been pretty consistent from both sides of the plate. 226 right-handed, 235 left-handed, but the power doesn't have a whole lot. 2 home runs from the left side, 1 from the right. He's not going to deal very well with that changeup from James. Now that he has a little more velocity and consistency in the velocity, that changeup has gotten better and better.
You've talked about his arm slot before. Saw a number in his release point as well. Saw a number that James has one of the top 5 most horizontal release points away from the plate in Major League Baseball. He's reaching out so far wide that he's in the top 5 of where he's getting rid of the ball this year.
He just had to adjust because the league has a tendency to tell you when they're seeing your pitches, when you have good enough stuff, and are you going to make a change? And James was one type of pitcher for the majority of his career. And now you see what he's doing. 4-seam fastball, a little more velocity, but he likes the cutter. 23 of them last time out, and great sink on that last one. So in order to stay in the league and continue to pile up the innings, which he's proud of and justifiably so, he's had to completely change his release point, change his style, get more movement on the fastball. Consequently, the changeup looks a whole lot better.
Off speed away, 3 and 2 on Grossman. Mentioned the Twins 7.5 back in the Central. Cleveland is at St. Louis tonight, and no score in the second inning in that game as Jake Cave waits to see if he'll swing here in the second. Outside ball 4, first runner for the Twins. Hey, your 2018 Chicago White Sox are presented by Guaranteed Rate, your home team throughout the season and the official mortgage provider of the Chicago White Sox. Get started today at rate.com. Long sleeves, a good idea tonight.
It's a little chillier, but it was just a beautiful second half of the day today. First half, a little overcast. No rain. That's a good thing.
Cave to second. Moncada off the flat bounce, recovers and misfires. 2 on.
That was one that he just took for granted. Looked like it was going to be a very easy play, and the inning will roll along. We'll watch it again. Easy hop, but the juggle, and before he could get it across, Cave is hustling and beats the play.
So Moncada, who after a rough start to the Oakland series seemed to improve in front of our eyes for a couple of games, has that one going to the juggle column.
That's 12 errors this year, tied with Tim Anderson.
And the problem with that is, here's a guy who's hit meteors against the Sox all year, A-Ray Adrianza.
You take a look at that batting average. It's at 247, but against our Sox 286, and with authority from both sides of the plate. So not only did he have a very good series in the Twin Cities against our ball club, but he's still swinging it pretty well.
Left side of the infield, Anderson a long way to go, and he's got no play anywhere as Sanchez is laid on the tag. So an infield single for Adrianza, and the bases are loaded.
That was a heads-up play by Tim Anderson because there was no play at first or second. The only play he had was perhaps Grossman getting a little careless rounding the bag. But that's Gene Glynn at third. He's telling him the ball's in the infield, so he's able to hustle back in under that tag, and the inning stays alive.
That's active coaching over there by Gene Glynn.
You got to do it. And Grossman, who was almost hung out to dry, gets back, and there is longtime Major League coach Gene Glynn.
Former Mr. Basketball in the state of Minnesota.
It's pretty impressive.
Multi-sport star. I want to say he was the year after Kevin McHale.
Didn't say it.
We might have to play the Is This True later on. I think that's true.
There you go. I'm rooting for you.
2-0 on Wilson, the 9-hitting catcher who is just 9 for 61 at the plate. So with the bases loaded, it's up to the 9-hitter. Grossman, Cave, and Adrianza are on.
Well, Wilson's going to get his fastball here. If he gets something else, it'll be unusual.
There it was, and it is lasered foul.
When you're hitting 148, you can't wait back, even when you know a certain pitch is coming. Career with the bases loaded, pretty impressive at 308 with a couple of grand slams.
There's a strike on the fringe, 2-2. How about 17 career homers? 2 are slams for Bobby Wilson.
That was a great pitch by James Shields. Threaded the needle on the outside corner. Now 1 strike away from getting out of a jam.
2-2. Third base, Sanchez with momentum stops the bag, and that is that. No score after 1.5.
using the hashtag #AuthenticFan, and it may be shown later in our broadcast.
I like that last one. Transformed his stepson into a Sox fan, even though his biological father is a Cub fan. Game 795 for Laura Williams. That's authentic fan material.
That's pretty impressive.
Avisail Garcia looks at strike one from Kyle Gibson.
Gibson fastball is going to top out around 95 on occasion. He's going to pitch comfortably 93, maybe occasionally to 94. And that sinker will be somewhat less, but move more down and in especially.
Wide of third and foul.
It's a young lady who is enjoying her pretzel and her twin visor.
A souvenir for some Sox fans. 0-2. That's upstairs. 1 ball and 2 strikes. You're talking about the secondary stuff being successful. That has helped Gibson's sinker. You see the batting average against. This is by far his best year.
Because he's changing eye angles. I mean, the sinker is good, except if you stay down there all the time, especially to low ball hitters. But he likes to throw high fastballs. And then try to wipe him out with the curve, and the appeal to Nick Lentz. He says nothing doing, so the count is even at 2-2. The changing eye angles is absolutely as important as changing speeds on whatever pitch you're throwing. You get a guy looking in one spot, even if it's a good pitch down there, you could have some problems. But up, down, in, out, very impressive, especially up and down.
Avi couldn't check it up. There's strike 3. Second strikeout for Gibson. Bleachers and Brews is back by popular demand, and new summer dates have been announced. Get 1 bleacher seat and 2 beers for just $22. You're going to be 21 and over with a valid ID. Bleachers and Brews presented by Budweiser. To get your tickets, visit whitesox.com/brews. We hope to see you here at the ballpark in the bleachers with some brews. 1 down for Leury Garcia. 3 hits yesterday, and goes after the first pitch again, and it's singed to Dozier.
Hit it hard, but hit it right at him. Ryan Dozier is going to be a free agent, and normally he's a rare combination of speed and power. Although this year the power hasn't been quite what he's used to. Did hit a home run last night, however. Dozier's only swiped 4 bases.
That homer he hit last night made a quick stop at the International Space Station and then came down.
It was a towering fly ball.
You said up and down is maybe more important than in and out in changing the eye angle for a hitter. Why do you say that?
Well, let's take a sinker baller specifically. You're not going to throw high sinkers. You're going to throw low sinkers. You're going to move them in and out, and they're still going to be the same eye level. Like that, for instance. Now, that wasn't a sinker. That was his 4-seam fastball, but it was down. So when you're approaching a sinker baller, you're expecting everything to be there. Even at 95, it's not quite good enough. There's no sinking motion on this, so the ball stays flat. Tim is looking down anyway, because that's what a sinker baller does. Gibson would have been better served to throw that fastball high, changing the eye angle, and then instead of dropping the head on it, taking it through the right side, which he did, maybe you get a pop-up or he swings through it.
That's the first Sox hit tonight, and now Narvaez, who's really raised his numbers over the past couple of weeks.
Tim's getting a good lead at first base, and he is one of the top base stealers in the American League. 15 of them this year. He's been caught 3 times. Adam Engel, 10 stolen bases, been caught twice. Leury, 9 for 9 in stolen bases. So it's been a running team. Successful 60 times, been caught 18.
Tim, for his career, has made some pretty good choices in terms of base stealing. He's 40 for 46, 87%.
That's pretty good. Now, if he decides that he wants to help bail out Omar, this at bat down 0-2, this is a good pitch to run. Gibson, on the other hand, is using a slide step. So he's a big man. Normally, with a high leg kick, it takes a while to deliver the ball, but he's trying to combat Anderson by using that slide step, which gets the ball that much more quickly to Wilson. Gibson shook off the slider. Then Wilson wanted a fastball away. He shook off that.
Yeah, fastball away to Omar with the way he hits the ball the opposite way. Could ask for trouble if you miss.
Here's another slider inside.
And Tim got frozen. He is out. Well, he bailed Omar out, but not the way he wanted to. No score after 2. Documentary on the state of youth sports in America titled Fair Play. Before they were major leaguers with the Sox, players like this young man were simply kids being kids playing sports. Do you know who this future Sox player is?
I'm going to guess Adam Engel every time until I'm right.
It was black and white.
Yeah?
This can't be Adam Engel.
Why not?
Why would the Engel family have a black and white camera? He's 26.
Yeah, but the look of it is just so good.
You think it's just a filter?
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Looked like Dennis the Menace. Could it be?
No.
He didn't play for the Sox.
I don't think so.
1-1. First base, Abreu. 1 down.
So once again, they tried to trick me because the player did not play for the Sox.
So it's not a Sox player, and who am I tonight?
You were leading me astray.
Oh, I was trying not to. I was just Ron Burgundy.
I was late. I was.
So it's not a Sox player.
No.
But there's a White Sox connection, I'm told.
I was laboring under a misconception.
Many misconceptions, actually. So the game "Who Am I" is very aptly named today because I don't know who it is.
Yeah, that's just not in the spirit of the game.
Into center field, Charlie Tilson, the call and the ball. Got those track shoes working.
Charlie took over, and justifiably so. Tim was going out to make the catch if Charlie couldn't get there, but when you hear his voice, you give way. And Long way to come for Charlie. Tim tries to get everything he can, which he should do. Charlie makes the catch.
Two down for Eddie Rosario. There's strike number one to Rosario, who has the most hits in the American League since May 1st.
Tried to pull the ball the first time up, didn't get too much out of that sinker away, but he's got some big power to left and left center field.
All right, here's your fair play Sox player answer.
Is it Don Cooper?
It is. Don Cooper. The documentary Fair Play Youth Sports in America takes an inside look at the multifaceted world of organized sports. It premieres Friday, 7:30 p.m. right here on NBC Sports Chicago. Here's a swing and a miss for strike three. Rosario's not going to get to first. The next time we play Fair Play, we're going to play fairly.
Fan of the game, Logan Brown. You want to be the next authentic fan of the game? Enter for your chance to win at NBCSportsChicago.com/White Sox AF. We had quite a time. They had quite a time. Till Jason wanted to know their favorite tattoos. And of course, the tattoo of the Sox on Logan's arm was the one that he chose.
Yeah, he's got an old school Sox logo on his arm.
Yes,
he also has the birth date of his son on his knuckles.
Yes, he does.
It's the second straight game we have had knuckle tattoos as a focal part of our telecast.
And you asked me last night if I were to do that, what name would I tattoo? I thought about it all night.
You did?
Yes. Anaconda.
It's a little lengthy.
Yes. Both hands together, though. And
yeah,
then some.
You could go thumb free.
There you go.
There you go. 0-2. Check swing and a foul from Omar. Logan got a chance to meet Nick Capra. Exchange lineup cards wearing his Abreu jersey.
That was the all-star jersey. And a good-looking jersey it is.
And Joe Mauer just to say hello. Did he just ask one of the Twins to take a picture?
That was the official ball person for the game.
Oh,
and that was Derek Shelton he was with, I believe. Yes, it was. Paul Molitor in your picture, but not in his picture.
It's true. 1-2. First base side. Mauer takes it himself.
Well, there's an example, look, of what we were talking about, where the pitch before was a high fastball, which Omar fought off. This pitch was the sinker. Again, different eye level, and he got a very weak swing at it, maybe expecting the next pitch to be up. So Gibson, as he's gotten better, has really learned to elevate the fastball, to go with his good sinker, and the occasional curveball, which has been close to unhittable if you look at the numbers this year.
One, it speaks to the art of the setup pitch as well.
Yeah. And that's what it is. You got to keep the hitter off balance and stop him from looking in a particular spot.
Charlie slices it to left field. We've seen that before, haven't we?
He's got that one down. And speed aboard as he looks at what should have been a sinker, but was about thigh high. Able to hit a line drive over the head of Adrianza and in the left center.
So 1 on 1 out for Moncada, who only saw one pitch to a ground out as the leadoff batter. Yohan had the RBI triple last night. And he takes ball number 1. To the point about the setup pitch, sometimes you'll be watching the game and you'll say, well, he missed badly, threw the ball outside or threw the ball in the dirt or something like that. There's a purpose behind it.
Well, you would hope. What we're seeing now, especially from Gibson tonight, is a lot of his high fastballs are way up out of the zone. That isn't really useful. You want to make it tantalizing enough to get a swing and either get a miss or a pop-up. But way over the hitter's head, it's just a pitch to throw a pitch. It's going to be an inside fastball. Let's see if Yohan can catch up to it.
That was up and a check swing. He missed his spot. 2-1.
Yeah,
so
oh, good.
I was going to say, Sox saw Gibson earlier this year, and here's what he threw. It was 40 sinkers, 25 four-seam fastballs, and slider and curveball. He's already thrown 7 sliders in this game today and 5 changeups too.
He realizes his secondary stuff has been that good, so he's going to it.
Breaks that one low and in. 3-1.
Normally this is where you get that sinker. He's probably going to try to throw it middle out and see if Yohan will roll over, hit it to the right side, because he's going to throw a fastball, I believe, in a fastball count, so you want to keep it down and make it move.
Tilson at first. He holds. Moncada rips it to right field. Charlie's on his way to third. Runners at the corners for the Sox with one down.
He got his fastball, and it was a high fastball. I don't think Gibson wanted to throw it there, but Yohan certainly liked it. Jumped on it, drove it into right field. You see, Wilson wanted it low and in, and he got it not chest high. Cost him a base hit.
Charlie's got those shoes that make him look like a track star.
He also wants to glue on that helmet.
That's true. Jose may do that for him.
Did it last time with tape. I don't think that's too comfortable, but not a bad idea if it keeps on falling off.
Well, if it gets progressively more permanently stuck every time Jose does it, Charlie might stop having it fall off.
Runs in scoring position, Yolmer has been very good. Opportunity to drive home the first run of the ball game here in the bottom of the third inning.
Tilson at third, Moncada at first. Yolmer's behind at 0-2.
It was an 0-2 pitch that Gibson threw to first last time, and maybe Daryl Boston is now talking with Yuan about it as they look at Nick Capra, who goes through his set of signs. That probably is a throw to first. We'll see.
He comes home, and Sanchez has to dodge it. Charlie's coming home, and he is out.
Wilson, I think, took the brunt of that. We'll take another look at it. This ball way in front of the plate. This is a good stop by Wilson and a good glove flip. He's right there to make the tag. I don't know if he got the tag before the leg got in.
Tag was later than it looked like it was going to be.
But then again, I don't think he got the plate on the initial slide.
Ooh.
I think they want to take a look at this, and we'll have to see.
It looks as though the Sox are going to wave it off.
Turned out to be a very good play, combination of Wilson and Gibson.
Well, Charlie was playing the bounce there, expecting that it might get a little farther away from Wilson than it did.
Well, bounce any place but right back to Gibson, and that was just a bad break. Good stop and a bad break.
1-2. We struck him out. Yolmer runs. There's the out, and the rally set aside. Still no score. Be the authentic fan if you win Sox math, or at least you can win the placard.
Yeah, that would be really nice. And we have a special on Happy Birthday Southpaw. You can have this one also.
We also have a t-shirt here that is worth looking at, I think. Pick Pito, certainly. There's also a Just Start Believin' shirt from NBC Sports Chicago that you can win. It's like the opposite of Journey.
It's a handsome shirt.
Yeah. Here.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I have one now. You don't.
Been watching old Chevy Chase videos. Ball and a strike on Brian Dozier. Still no score. Both teams have had chances tonight. Twins had the bases loaded, 2 out in the second inning. Sox had 2 on in the third.
over the top of that curveball, and cotton candy coming your way. Do you like the pink or the blue?
I think they taste the same.
Yes, but the blue has the added incentive of dyeing your entire mouth and tongue blue.
Right.
Yeah. So
and
that's
if you eat the pink,
that's
then
always good.
1-2. That twists outside and low. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Dozier's trying to pull just about everything these days.
These days?
Yep.
Every day.
Against James, he's been pretty good.
You know the world's still going around when Brian Dozier's in the top 10 in pull hits. As there's strike 3, he knew it. And 1 down. As here's your Sox Math question for tonight. Hashtag Sox Math on Twitter. First correct answer wins a prize off the prize shelf. RBIs last night for Yolmer, divided by homers for the Sox, plus hits for Leori, minus bases Moncada totaled on his hit. It's your Sox Math question for tonight. And by the way, if you're not really into math and you want to play another game, you can go to whitesox.com/SoxSplit and play the 50-50 split game online.
And get a chance to take home, well, you'll be home already, but get a chance to take with you some big cash.
Indeed. So that's the way you win cash and prizes. Sox Math for the prizes, Sox Split for the cash.
Not a bad thing, actually, especially because you can do it from the comfort of your lounge chair or any other chair you have.
Kepler, right field. Avi at the warning track, and he stalls there to make the catch. 2 down with Grossman coming up. Online sales at whitesox.com/SoxSplit. If you have an Illinois billing address, that's how you can play. You can buy tickets online, and the winning number is on social media and at whitesox.com/SoxSplit.
What is the winning number tonight?
That would be against the rules for me to tell you. Also, I don't have it.
Oh, I thought you knew it and you were holding it in abeyance.
I would never do such a thing. James Shields fires in a strike, and frankly, without the error in the second inning, this would be a left lane gas pedal down sort of night for James Shields.
He's got very good stuff tonight, and the arm angles certainly are fooling the Twin hitters.
Spreading the love around in pitch selection as well.
But also, as difficult as it seems with 7 left-hand hitters with a couple of switch hitters in there, you get your release point with so many left-handers, and then you keep on going with it, and that slow curveball ended the at-bat for Grossman, and it ends the inning.
Just over the speed limit for big game James. Fan Box. The Fan Box is the only suite located on the lower level concourse behind section 134, providing the benefits of lower level sight lines with the luxury of a premium suite. For more information, 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com. Walked by it last night. Great view. And you're down there right on the first level. Bring your friends, bring your family, whatever you want to do. Good stuff. Oh, 0-1 on Abreu. And 1 ball, 1 strike. Chuck Garfien.
Jason, a lot of White Sox players big fans of the World Cup. That includes Jose Abreu. And that's nice of Nicky Delmonico to be throwing seeds at me while I'm doing this report.
Oh, good.
Yeah. He's a prankster, isn't he? He's waiting for more. Thank you. Anyway, Jose is a big fan of the World Cup. Do you guys want to guess what his favorite World Cup team is? What country?
I can't guess because you told me.
Oh, I told you. Steve, you want to guess?
I'll take a guess.
Right, it's a European team.
Chad.
That's a person or an African country. Good try.
Yes. No?
No, it is. It's France. France is his favorite team because he started watching in 1998. That was the year France hosted the World Cup and won it. And now his wife wants to visit France with him and go and visit the Eiffel Tower.
Well, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
Yeah.
Hopefully he gets there. And okay, now Nicky is throwing gum at me.
Has it been chewed?
Hey, Nicky, you need to get off the DL.
Whoa!
A shot across the bow
Garfien,
from our Chuck.
I don't think you can hear me.
Whoa! How about that?
There's some more gum. Thank you.
He's chewing his own and he's chucking it at Chuck.
I do have some Nicky Delmonico news to share, but if he's going to continue to throw gum at me, maybe I won't.
Oh boy, you're vindictive tonight. What do you got on Nicky?
What I got on Nicky is going to take some live hitting. Going to take some live hitting in a few days, maybe. Swinging on the field in a few days. What? He wants me to talk about what he ate today. He ate at Subway. That's his big news.
So much sandwich.
Yes.
That's wrong channel.
He's hoping to he's hoping to begin a rehab assignment in a week.
Base hit for Abreu. So every time Nicky throws stuff at Chuck, Jose gets a hit.
He literally told me his order that he got at Subway earlier today. He wanted me to share that with everybody. That's what he wanted to tell me. That's
great. For a guy who told us in one of our online interviews last year that his favorite food is chicken tenders with ketchup, I don't know that anybody wants to hear Nicky's cuisine. He's like a 10-year-old. 1 on, nobody out for Polka, who struck out in the first. And ball number 1. Well, good for Jose. He came in 2 for his last 20.
He took a breaking ball through the left side, so he stayed right with it.
Ball's ripped to right field. Cave has it bounce in front of him. Daniel Polka sears the ball to right, and 2 on for the Sox. Nobody out.
Second time through has been the charm because 3 of the 4 hitters the second time through the order have gotten base hits.
So Polka at first, Abreu at second, Avi Garcia the batter. Still no score in this game, bottom 4. And ball 1 from Gibson. Garcia 3 for 18 career against Gibson. Well, with the return of Avi and Leori Garcia, the Sox certainly have a deeper lineup.
No doubt. And you got a switch hitter in Leori and man who hit .330 last year in Avi. Welcomes both of them back to the lineup.
That's called a strike.
Well, that's what a sinker baller depends on, because if the ump is not going to give him the low pitch, then he's going to have a tough night if the guys aren't swinging. That one was really borderline, however.
Two and one. 94 to the edge again. 2-2. Well, Gibson's no dummy. He went right back there.
I was going to say the pitch before dictated that Avi swung at that one, because if he's going to call the pitch before a strike, that one certainly would have been also.
Two. Wide of third. Young man gets a ball at the game. Life changes a little bit.
Very happy young man. And a great remembrance of this game.
2-2. Third base and foul. That's good news.
It's a double play if it's a fair ball, and Eduardo was trying to stay in fair territory, but it's not where the defender is, it's where the ball is.
That would have been quite the sell job to get that one to be a fair ball. Well, you can see where Gibson wants to pitch Garcia. Everything below the waist. Two. Swing and a miss for strike three. One gone.
Same pitch he got him with last time. That sweeping slider out of the zone. And Avi could not check it up.
Well, what Avi did well last year was push his strikeout rate down. It was his best of his career. And this season so far, 25 strikeouts and still looking for that first walk. Season obviously split by injury. Now Leori Garcia, who jumped on the first pitch last time, and takes ball one here. Deepest he got in the count yesterday on his 3 hits was pitch number 3.
Not surprising. He's aggressive and doesn't want to get down in the count.
Foul at first. Darryl Boston meets Joe Mauer. And the sun sets in Chicagoland.
Beautiful evening. Temperature just right. And the heat coming into town as we leave town.
Supposed to be about 100 degrees in Arlington upon our arrival.
Yeah, but it's a wet heat.
You should not be on anyone's Chamber of Commerce. 1-1. Hit hard right field, tailing away and down all the way to the wall. Here comes Abreu. Polka gets stopped at third. Garcia smokes a ball to right field, and the Sox lead 1-0.
RBI number 15. And the third hit of the inning. So the second time through has been the charm. Leuri ropes this ball to right. Cave can't get to it, and he's got to play it off the wall.
That was Jake Cave to the Kraft Cave, and Garcia took him there.
Garvin Alston comes out to have a word. Second time through the order has not been kind so far to Gibson. And he's not even close to out of it yet.
Second and third, one down for Tim Anderson, who's now got a hit in 6 straight after his second inning single. One more comes home. Anderson's 2 for 2, and it's 2-0.
Tim has gone to right field both times. This time, run batted in number 33, and the hit parade continues second time through. Picking on the first pitch and taking that sinker, driving it into right field. Nice job of hitting by Tim. Leaving runners at the corners and a chance for more with just 1 out.
So this Sox offense, which coming into this game had at least 6 runs in 4 straight. Longest streak like that since 2015. Has 2 already in the 4th, and Omar.
Always a big run to drive in. That's the 3rd, because then one base runner does not bring the tying run to the plate.
On the ground left side, Adrianza only has 1 play because Anderson was in motion, and the Sox get another run. It's 3-0.
So a hit and run. Ricky Renteria decides to show a little motion, and he's got a contact hitter up in Narvaez. All he's got to do is make some contact. That's all he does. No chance at second base and no chance at the plate. So a very productive inning.
That was well executed by Omar.
We didn't overswing. I mean, that is exactly what you need. If you're using the hit and run and you know you got a man at third, the infield is back, just put it in play.
Charlie Tilson, and Gibson watches Tim Anderson all the way back.
Tim is telling his counterpart, Adrianza, hey, don't pay attention to me. I'd like to steal third base if possible.
There's ball number 1. That's paraphrasing.
Yeah, maybe not in those exact terms, but pretty close to it.
To first base, and Joe Mauer to Gibson. Death by paper cut. Abreu, base knock. Palka, base knock. Garcia, 2 base knock. Anderson, base knock. 3's in. TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. Top 5, James Shields still throwing a shutout, and in fact a one-hitter as he faces Jake Cave, who reached on what turned out to be not a very costly error in terms of runs or pitches for Shields.
Actually worked out pretty well, as James has been making very good pitches tonight, and so far he has absolutely stifled this lineup loaded with 7 left-handers.
By the way, today the Sox announced some special guests scheduled to appear July 14th for the 1993 reunion celebration. Jack McDowell, Tim Raines, Ozzie Guillen, Bo Jackson, Frank Thomas. Just about everybody, really. Wilson Alvarez, Jason Beret, Lance Johnson. The Deacon's going to be here. Warren Newson, Gene Lamont. Whole slew of people.
A cast of thousands.
Yeah. James with strike one to Cave.
Cave's a line drive hitter, doesn't have a whole lot of power. But because he swung the bat from the left side, the Twins were interested in acquiring it.
Flat roller, Moncada. Here's your answer to Sox math tonight, and your winner as well. It's See You for a Beer. 4 driven in for Sanchez, 1 home run. It was Avi's. 4 divided by 1 is 4, plus 3 hits for Leori Garcia. 7 minus 3. Moncada's triple. 4. And See You for a Beer is your winner. Is that an invite or
repeat winner?
Yeah. A couple of beers. Bleachers and Brews. Adrianza. A breaking ball strike. Well, you hear about crafty lefties. James is a crafty righty now.
He's really changed things up, and the stuff looks very good. Can't stop that guy.
No, and he hasn't hit it that hard today. However, he's 2 for 2. If he hits it hard, he gets a hit. If he doesn't, he still gets a hit.
The question being, when Polanco returns from his suspension, you know they're going to keep Escobar at third base. And Polanco was their everyday shortstop. Odds are overwhelming that although he wouldn't be eligible for the playoffs, when he does come back, which will be in the not too distant future, they'll probably play him at shortstop, and Adrianza becomes the odd man out.
That is such a question, though, for a team that wants to jump into a playoff race. Do you use the guy, and how much do you do it, who can't help you in the playoffs? Because you inject him into that lineup, and then you got to take him right back out if you do make it.
But here's what I think they're probably thinking. Eventually, Sano comes back from the minor leagues, hopefully with a better stroke and a few less pounds. And when that happens, then they move Eduardo Escobar to shortstop, where he's a better player than either of the guys that we're talking about. And Sano adds power to this lineup by playing third base again. So that would be their hope. And so in the meantime, when Sano's not here, I think they would like to use Polanco to get there, and then if they get there, well, then they'll mix and match. But the wild card's not coming out of the Central, so to get there, you got to win the division, and that's a long way off for either Detroit or the Twins.
Tigers have fallen on really hard times. They've lost 7 in a row, and they're trailing Oakland in the 7th inning tonight, 1-0, while Cleveland's up 4-1 in St. Louis. James drops down 2-2, and Adrianza, by the way, who's 4 for 5 in this series, in case you had not heard, is the godson of Ozzie Guillen.
Well, he picked a switch hitter. That's not so bad.
No, it's a good call. Two and two for Wilson. Adrianza at first, and a long hold from Shields. Ground ball. Sanchez. Moncada. Double play. Exactly how it comes in the book. 3-0 Sox. Hey, sports fans, the Bulls Sox Youth Academy runs summer camps in basketball, baseball, and fast-pitch softball for boys and girls ages 5 to 12. The Academy offers multiple camp locations all around Chicagoland. Campers get a stadium tour experience, ticket vouchers, and much more. 630-PLAY-BALL is what you call, or go to bullssoxacademy.com for more information. Sox are up 3-0 tonight after a comeback win last night, and we were talking about why Paul Molitor would have challenged a play as early as he did yesterday with the evidence that we saw, and a play that ended up not getting overturned. And there's a little added information to that situation. We found out there was a pregame technical issue with the replay system in the game yesterday. So everybody got their normal manager's challenge, but there were also unlimited crew chief reviews during the game. So that's why they took the risk to challenge that play from yesterday.
Well, that makes sense, because you wouldn't have challenged it if you only had one and you were going to lose it on that play that early in the game.
And so for those of you that have never seen a replay system, and I wouldn't imagine there are many in our viewing audience who have been around instant replay a whole lot, everything for each team, as there's strike 3 on Moncada, the monitors, the touch screens, the fast forward button, the scroll circle that they use to jog forward and backward, the phone, everything is exactly the same for each team in each ballpark. So if something goes wrong with one, that either has to go out for the other one, or they do what they did yesterday and give you unlimited crew chief reviews. Exactly the same, though. Same make, same model, same size, in an effort to be as equitable as possible so you're not at a disadvantage when you go on the road.
Well, that's like if the phones go out in the bullpen, then the other team has to put those phones out. You use good old hand signs again.
Well, that was one of my favorite Ozzie Guillen deals, was when he called Bobby Jenks.
Yeah. Yep, that was pretty good.
What would the signal have been for you?
Well, it depends on when they were signaling.
Mauer backtracks a little bit, and Gibson takes the feed.
If it was out of the bullpen, it would be the manager's hands over his eyes. If it was earlier in my career, it might be like a lot of hair situation.
It's true.
Yeah.
A bushy.
Yeah, kind of that.
Yeah.
But later, nothing.
No, you were nondescript?
No, because no bullpen sign, because I was a starting pitcher. I don't know, the last 5 or 6 years of my career, something like that.
2 down for Jose Abreu, who got a hit and scored a run in the 4th last time up.
Hopefully that will be the one thing that allows Jose to break out of what has been not quite a month, really, a couple of weeks of bad selection swinging the bat, and it's got to be because he believes with the team not scoring as he would like it to score, and him being the #1 run producer on this team, he's expanded his strike zone much to his own detriment.
1-1, and as a companion to that, he has let some pitches go by that we typically do not see him let go by.
When he's swinging well, he's very aggressive early in the count, and he's not going to let any fastball in the zone go by.
2-1 from Gibson. Thanks for joining us tonight as the Sox picked up 3 in the 4th, the only runs in this game. He's Steve Stone. I'm Jason Benetti. Chuck Garfien is downstairs, and our entire crew from 35th and Shields this evening. That ball is drilled left field. Rosario can only watch. It is gone. Maybe it did get him on track. 4-0 as the fireworks dance.
That is the 12th and the 46th. 12th home run, 46 driven in. And Jose and the rest of the Sox fans breathe a sigh of relief. This is a slider, a Ford home run replay, and Jose just goes down and gets it. 2 for 3 tonight. And that one in the pen.
And with that home run, another generous donation from the Alex Snellius family in loving memory of Ursula. That is just wide of the right field corner from Polka. And for Jose Abreu, that's his first multi-hit game in 13 days. And he's now in a tie with Jose Valentin for number 11 in Sox history.
And Tim Anderson wants you to vote Abreu, and a whole lot of fans are, because he's leading by a wide margin to go to the All-Star game and start at first base.
His slumps don't last long.
Nice to see the big man back and stinging the baseball again.
Oh, 2. Jose with that vista in front of his home run. Purples and blues and pinks.
Nice to see anything that's not gray and water laden.
That is very true after yesterday's rain delay and final pitch of the game at 12:14 in the morning.
A lengthy affair after an hour and 48-minute rain delay to start off the ball game.
Well, look, Kyle Gibson has had a great career against the Sox. We showed you the numbers in the open, and also his this month has been one of his best in recent memory. He'd given up just 7 earned runs in 4 starts in June, but the Sox have tagged him for 4 runs. It was 3 until this thing from Jose Abreu. Downstairs and then upstairs real quick. 4-zip.
The authentic fan, it is Logan Brown. Logan, great to see you. And what makes you such a big White Sox fan?
I just love the Sox. I have a bunch of sports memorabilia ever since I was a kid. Got my first White Sox hat. Ever since then, I've just been White Sox fan for life.
What's this experience been like? You got to meet Ozzie Guillen. You got to go on the field. What's it been like?
It's been crazy. Mainly the Ozzie, meeting him, that was crazy. Some of the other players, managers, whatnot, giving the scorecard to the umpires, and other than that, you couldn't ask for more, being on the field.
Well, there are many fans out there, but there are only a few authentic fans, and you are one of them. Great to meet you, Logan.
Thank you.
Jason, back to you.
Chuck, thank you. Mauer is 0 for 3 after that ground out, and Logan Brown, who didn't like big city life in the small town he was living in Iowa, so he moved to fertile Iowa, where they have 2 roads, he says.
2 roads and a couple hundred people. How? What did he say the big city came from? Right down the road?
Yeah, not far.
No.
But that's the wonderful thing about sports, isn't it? You have big city people and small city people, and everybody just loves the Sox. In the authentic fan department, Moncada dives up with it. Yes, sir!
That was a great play. To his right, flat out dive, and gets it there and robs Escobar. This was ticketed to right center field, but not to be, as Yuan does a nice job of just getting there, and then once there, from his knee, he's got it.
So Yoan Moncada flashes the range and a smile, and 2 down for Rosario. James Shields doing the hot knife butter routine on the Twins tonight.
Just 2 hits, and he's throwing a no-hitter against everybody but Adrianza, who's got the 2 hits.
Does that go anywhere in the annals of baseball history if you throw a no-hitter against everybody but one guy?
Possibly not, but Mike Minor does have a perfect game against San Diego in the top of the 7th in Arlington, Texas. And James Shields is not perfect, but he's pretty good.
Well, we showed you early in this game what James Shields has meant to the bullpen. He has the longest average start of any Sox pitcher in the rotation right now at 6 1/3, and he is threatening to go much deeper than that tonight.
In a day and age when pitchers leave after 5 1/3, 5 2/3, James has averaged over 6 innings per start, and entering the action tonight, he had 100 innings, most on the ball club for a starter.
He misses outside and wails in pain at where that ball ended up. Become an official member of the White Sox today by joining the free WhiteSox.com blacklist. Get breaking news, latest videos, special ticket offers, and more delivered right to your inbox. Visit WhiteSox.com/blacklist to register today. Well, James is prone to grunting as he throws pitches, but that was a primal scream after the walk. Strike 1 for Dozier. Two walks, 2 hits, 4 strikeouts.
Perfect game is over, by the way.
You jinxed him.
True.
No, it's not true. I don't believe in that. In the air and Fallow and 2. Eric Hosmer.
What'll be interesting in that ball game, usually when you take a no-hitter, in this case a perfect game, into deep waters in that game, as soon as you give up a hit, the opponent seems to get a few more.
It's the Sox next opponent in that game. The Rangers will see Texas for 3 before 3 in Cincinnati and 4 in Houston to close out the road trip. Rosario at first, 2 down. 1-2. Dozier just barely clips that ball.
James trying to fool him on that slow breaking ball away, but Dozier able to get a piece. By the way, the Cincinnati Reds, just about as hot as any team in baseball, winners of 9 of their last 11.
Beat Atlanta today 6-5. 1-2. Brian Dozier, who flied out to center and struck out his first 2 times up. Two and 2. Line to the right side and through. This gets Rosario to third, and the Twins have 2 on with 2 out for Kepler.
That was something Dozier doesn't do too often, and that's go the opposite way through a vacated right side of the infield. It's Don Cooper keeping track of all the pitches. That fastball is up and out away from Dozier, and he goes that way. So now here comes Coop. Only 79 pitches, so James should have plenty left in the tank, and with that in mind, there's nobody up in the pen. This is just a trip to settle him down somewhat and maybe give him something to get out Kepler.
While we have a moment, let's take a junket around Major League Baseball, and today we show you the gymnastics in Milwaukee. Brent Suter, stop, drop, and roll, and then add one more for tag. That's exceptional.
Well, he realized nobody was home at first base except the umpire. So, with that in mind, he does it himself.
Why not? What a play.
Nice play.
And now some discussion. Eddie Rosario has Gene Glynn and the third base umpire Jerry Davis.
And Gene Glynn is thrown out of the game.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm not sure what he was arguing about, but very rarely will third base umpire argue when the pitching coach goes to the mound, but Gene found something objectionable.
When's the last time you saw a third base coach get run?
Well, it's one thing on a call. It's another thing when you are presiding over a trip to the mound by the opposing pitching coach. So Gene is rung.
What's the line of succession here?
Well, you usually shift one other of your coaches, maybe your bench coach, out to third base, or if you have an extra coach, you can move him out to third base.
Take a look over on the left side of your screen. Jerry Davis throws out Gene Glynn while everybody's standing around.
Well, Jerry was starting to walk away from it, had his back to Gene Glynn, and then Gene decided to continue the conversation. Just a little too long for the liking of Jerry Davis.
So they're going to shift their first base coach over to third.
And Hernandez, Rudy Hernandez, goes to first. He's the assistant hitting coach. Pressed into service.
You're in, Rudy. So Jeff Smith to third, Rudy Hernandez to first. And if one of them gets thrown out, the president pro tem goes to coach. What a wild situation that is.
Really was. The fiery Gene Glynn.
Yeah. Throw to third and nobody home.
I think it's a balk.
It is.
And it's because as great as the timing was always between Shields and Yolmer, that time the timing wasn't all that good because Yolmer was not near the bag.
Ricky Renteria disagrees. He says talk to your guys.
So Pat Hoberg goes out. Now there is an umpires meeting. If James steps off the mound, he can pretty much do whatever he wants, and that fake to first and throw to third with your foot on the rubber is not allowed any longer.
Question is, did he step off the rubber?
And that is what they're trying to decide right now.
Yeah, he's going back.
Yeah, and in their estimation, he did step off the rubber, and then you can pretty much do what you want to do.
Good argument by Ricky Renteria. Now Paul Molitor is going to argue with the plate umpire Holberg. Gene Glenn might have a partner soon. Yes, he does.
He does. He got the heave-ho.
It's now a watch party in the Twins clubhouse on the first base side.
Well, they do have Derek Shelton. He's the bench coach and former hitting coach.
Yep. Time to cook up some popcorn, though. A big bucket of it.
The fiery Twins. Got a Quinella in this inning.
Yeah, you maybe box the trifecta before it's over. Paul Molitor says, no, I don't like it. That's his final word to Pat Holberg. Paul will be leaving. We appreciate the ratings. It's 2 extra viewers.
There you go. This ejection was not quite as mysterious as the one that preceded it for Gene Glenn.
That's in the dirt and blocked by Narvaez. Still 4-0 Sox.
James has been out there for a while.
Yes, he has. So far, a 12-minute half inning. The Twins had only had 1 person ejected all year in 75 games before tonight started. That's chopped foul, 1 and 2.
That's only the 6th of the career of Paul Molitor.
Rosario at third, Dozier at first. A third base coach ejected, a balk overturned, a manager ejected, and who knows what else. Hopefully one more pitch and that's it. James says go again.
Well, Rosario was coming down the line, but James was not about to balk. He's been around too long for that.
Breaking ball. Got him! Strike 3. That concludes, and then there were none. Twins edition. 4-zip Sox. 4-0 Sox with the lead. Chuck Garfien is downstairs. Steve Stone, Jason Benetti at Guaranteed Rate Field. And we'd like to thank you wherever you might be watching in our viewing area, whether Wisconsin or Iowa, here in Illinois, Indiana, or the Twins clubhouse. Two extra viewers here.
2 viewers down there.
Third base coach Gene Glynn ejected. Paul Molitor, the manager, ejected. Both in the top of the 6th.
Managers do get ejected. Third base coaches not so much.
Wasn't a very demonstrative situation with Gene Glynn at third and Jerry Davis too. That'll be interesting to find out what he said.
Yeah, that one kind of snuck up on you.
One and one to Avi.
Downstairs, Chuck Garfien.
Yeah, so when James Shields came off the field and was going back to the dugout, the whole team was greeting him, specifically outfield coach Daryl Boston, who was shouting to James Shields repeatedly, "Way to get your 0 back. Way to get your 0 back," as he pleaded his case, and with Ricky Renteria, that he did not balk and he keeps his shutout alive.
That's what you got to do, right? Well done. And Debo always providing energy.
Well, Ricky was out there right away saying, talk to the rest of the guys and see if you see what I saw.
In the end, that's the point of coming out to argue. I know in baseball you see ejections and you see guys go out there to try and get thrown out. Ricky Renteria said, no, that's not the rule. Talk to your people, and he got the job done. That's well done.
Right, and as long as you're off the mound, which he obviously was, and it was seen by one of the other umps, put Rosario back at third base.
Two and two on Garcia, who's still yet to have a week's worth of starts since coming back from the disabled list. Does have a hit in each of his starts so far. On the ground for out number 1. Join us Saturday, July 14th. Sox take on the Royals, 1:10 p.m. A 93 reunion we were telling you about. Ozzie, Bo, Tim Raines, and more. First 20,000 fans get a commemorative 93 authentic fan pennant presented by NBC Sports Chicago. Get your tickets today by visiting whitesox.com or calling 866-SOX-GAME. That'll be great fun.
Sure should be.
In the air, center field, Garcia continues to find grass, and he's 2 for 3 tonight.
Only time they got him out back in the 2nd inning was a line drive hit right at Dozier. So Lurie continues to scold the baseball. Got that batting average up near 290 these days.
And it must be a late game Tim Anderson at bat, because Frozen is playing at the ballpark. You love Frozen, don't you?
The music is outstanding. The Frozen 4 you're talking about? I like hockey.
The cold always bothers you, doesn't it?
Not tonight.
No, not tonight.
No. It's a beautiful night at the ballpark.
Downstairs, ball 1 to Tim, who's 2 for 2, and you said it, he's gone the opposite way both times, and when he is really hitting the ball well, he's using right field.
See the last 5 games, up over 500 with a couple of home runs, 6 driven in and 6 scored. So last week he's been awfully good.
Ball and a strike to Tim. Sox with 3 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th on the Abreu home run. go to first on Garcia. Pretty large piece of jewelry he's got over there at first. Leori Garcia, which popped out on the slide.
In case the wind kicks up, you want to be anchored.
It's practical, of course. Third base side. Escobar gets one, and that's all. 2 down. Narvaez coming up, and we quiz Steve on his own career at Sticks and Stone in game 2 of this series. In your only career win against Minnesota, there was an inning when you struck out the side. Who were they?
Well, let's see. All left-handers with the switch hitter on the first. That's A. All right-handers, B. I don't know who Powell is. That's not Colin Powell, was it? With Wilfong and Landreau, they're both left-hand hitters. So you would think 3 right-handers would be B. But that would be too easy. Well, look it up and tell me, and then I'll guess.
I'm not looking it up.
Oh, okay.
I already know the answer.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll say B, although it seems too easy.
Past the glove of Escobar. Anderson hot puts it to third. 2 on, 2 out. Omar's got another hit. Man's got to have a code. 2 on, 2 out.
Goes the opposite way and shoots it right by Escobar, who was well off the line. This ball tipped off the glove, but he couldn't control it, and Tim, with the ball slowed down just enough, hustling into third base.
So here's Charlie Tilson. Who takes strike 1. Hey, it's an upside down exclamation mark from the pinwheel.
And a full moon.
You believe in that stuff?
Absolutely.
Great. We're in for it then.
Be very careful on the way home. The werewolves will be out.
1-1 to Tilson. Walk home. Bloop to the right side. Nobody's going to get there. Silently on to Rogers' lush turf, and it's 5-0.
RBI number 7 for Charlie Tilson. He's got 2 for 3 tonight. A lot of productivity up and down this lineup. Just over the head of Dozier. Cave can't get to it. And a visit to the mound to get the bullpen some time to get to work, because nobody has been up to this point.
Well, look, this Sox lineup, we told you, has gotten deeper with the Garcias added. Charlie Tilson continues to rack up the hits. And Omar Narvaez as well. But Charlie, you know, who grew up coming to games here, went to New Trier, but he was a big Sox fan growing up. Admittedly went to both, but enjoyed coming to Guaranteed Rate Field. And look, he has just found spaces to put the ball, and he makes contact.
Does it consistently, and Ryan Presley throwing in the pen after Garvin Alston went out to the mound to kill a little time because nobody was up. And that's what hustling to beat a double play will do for you, because Anderson did not allow the double play to be turned. It was not out of the inning, and the Sox have another run.
If there is indeed a pitching change in this inning, it won't be Paul Molitor going out to yank Kyle Gibson, because Molitor has been ejected from this game along with his third base coach, Gene Glynn. Oh boy, the backswing got Wilson. And he's going to become an agriculture major for the moment.
Taking a look if there's any dents in the helmet. Yikes, right on top of the head.
Oof. That didn't sound great, huh?
No, and then he's stuck picking up pebbles.
Usually Fred and Wilma's job.
Oh, yikes.
Looks like Wilson's going to be okay. Yohan didn't pull the trigger, recognized the pitch, 2-1. Five-game hit streak for Moncada, including his third inning single tonight. Starting to see signs of what Yohan Moncada can be.
Well, you'd expect year after year he's going to be in excess of 25 home runs because he's going to probably get to 20 this year, maybe a little bit more. So you'd think when he evens out the strokes from both sides, right now far advanced from the left side than the right, that's a product of many more left-handed at bats.
He's always been precocious, though. I mean, he was playing in Cuba's national series, Serie A Nacional, when he was 17 years old. So he's always been playing with the older guys. He's used to it, and it's a matter of acclimating to Major League Baseball and getting to where he's been in the past, playing up. .100 pitches now for Gibson. Three and two.
Guys, this is one of the rare times the White Sox have actually gotten to Kyle Gibson. He's one of those White Sox killers for whatever reason, no matter who's in the lineup over the last few years. He's got a 6.2 ERA coming in with an ERA in the 2s, but tonight he's given up 11 hits, 5 runs so far.
That's surprising considering how well he's thrown against everybody else recently too, as he goes downstairs and away from the fastball for strike 3. But the Sox get one more, and it's 5-zip.
fun home.
And some more great photos from our White Sox Authentic fans. Thanks for sharing, and we'll see you for our next Authentic Fan Night, July 11th, with the Cardinal Birds in town. Oh, they use their own hashtag, Authentic Fam, which you can use when the Cardinals are in town because of Tommy Pham. There you go. Hashtag Authentic Fan, and we will show your post on our telecast, as we just did.
Nice segue into the Pham coming to town.
Yeah, thank you very much. Spent all morning writing that. In fact, didn't go to sleep after our 12-14 final pitch yesterday.
It was a touch late, but all's well that ends well.
Always better to play the game. Fans came here to see baseball.
No doubt. And stop the twin bill from happening today.
It's the longest rain delay you ever sat out as a player, sat through.
Well in excess of 3, maybe close to 4 hours, and it was in Atlanta. And there was runners at first and second. There was 2 outs, and I don't remember the inning. I do remember that Hank Aaron was the next hitter. And so it rained, and they weren't about to make it a suspended game or anything else. And they kept us there. I was with the Giants at the time, and finally decided that play would continue, which it did. And one pitch to Hank Aaron was hit into right center field, and after somewhere close to 4 hours of rain delay, one pitch was thrown, and we went back to the hotel.
That was it?
That was the end of the game. Yeah.
Oh, so it was that late in the game?
Oh yeah, it was the 9th inning.
Wow.
Of a tie game.
One pitch, and see you later. Time
One
for dinner.
pitch. That was it. With, by the way, the feeling was like Baltimore when we played that game with nobody in the stands.
Right.
There was nobody in the stands. Water dripping everywhere. The field soaked, and one pitch and gone.
Moncada charges and plays it low for out number 1. So, speaking of your own career,
yes,
here's the sticks and stone answer. Did you get it right?
Probably not.
You did.
Oh, see the 3 right-handers. I couldn't for the life of me believe that I struck out 3 guys who swung the bat from the left side. Impossible.
Next time we see Sal Butera, you can remind him.
I will. Where's Mom? There she is.
Always a fun game of grab Mom's eyes. Fun for one participant. You come to a baseball game as a kid and you end up with so many different memories. You have the action on the field. Maybe if you got a chance to talk to some of the players or get an autograph signed, get a baseball, but the food and the environment and everything. There's just so much for kids at the ballpark.
I know this is going to surprise you, but for me, it's the food that I remember.
Really?
Nothing about any game that I saw as a youngster.
I thought the grass for you.
Well, that's the first thing I saw. That was my first thing, going into the upper deck and walking up that ramp, which scared me to death, by the way, because I thought when we got to the end I was going to fall down on the field. But yeah, it was more green grass than I'd ever seen anywhere in my life.
Now that backswing I thought might have caught Omar.
Maybe got a piece of the mask and took it off. Could very well be. Cave's long backswing, and I mean long, did get a piece of the mask. Better the mask than the head.
Steve, is that retaliation?
No. But maybe. Now.
The old bench is clearing backswing. He doesn't even like my sarcastic
No, he's
comment.
He's very bored by the antics.
He's downstairs. 2-2. You know you have a cohesive production team when the director cuts to somebody yawning while you're talking.
Well, you could always bring it.
Now Jimmy Angio's threatening us. 2-2. Up the middle. That's why you shift.
That was good concentration, by the way, on the part of Anderson, because it hit the bag. And you're hoping that it doesn't, because it can go anywhere once it caroms off the bag. Fortunately for Tim, it went right to him. Right back up the middle. Tim's in great position, but just barely caught the corner. Went toward his left. Yep. Good hop.
2 out. Strike 1 on Adrianza. A-Ray Adrianza, who comes from a long line of A-Rays. His father's name, A-Ray as well. A-Ray Adrianza.
And A-Ray Smith.
Thank you for that addition.
Well, there was one of those.
Indeed. Not related.
Are you sure?
We'll check genealogy.org or something.
Meanwhile, if James gets out Adrianza, you should ask for the game ball.
Guy never makes an out against the Sox, it seems like.
2 for 3 in last night's game with a homer and a base hit.
To right field. Avi's not going to get there. To the fence. Adrianza is 3 for 3.
That's just 5 hits, 5 for 6 in this series. And he's hitting from his weak side, the left side. He just goes down, gets that breaking ball, and drives it over the head of Avi.
And a quick meeting at the mound with the bullpen tuning up.
Xavier Cedeno listening in the pen.
And I remind you, Steve, MLB at Bat is your #1 White Sox app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get White Sox home screen icons and features like the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today. Hart High School's finest, James Shields, trying to take care of Wilson and close out the top of the 7th.
Bobby, a good defensive catcher, not having a sterling offensive year. And he's produced 3 outs and 2 at bats.
That is not the greatest ratio.
No.
Double play ground ball last time, 5 to 4 to 3.
But I would assume if James cannot take down Wilson, it's going to be Cedeno against Mauer.
Sanchez won't have to worry about any of that Cedeno stuff in the 7th inning. Adrianza marooned at second. Sox lead big.
guaranteed rate field. You watch the Sox take on the Cardinals, visit the Authentic Fan booth because it's located outside sections 157 and 158. And if you get a chance, grab a free beach towel while supplies last. Kyle Gibson still in the game despite being down 5-0.
Twins are going to shift Escobar and Adrianza. That was why it took a moment for Gibson to throw that first pitch. Oh, it's a hiding moon now.
It is.
A moon on the move. One. Chopped wide of third. If that ball's fair, it's extra bases. Chuck?
So it is Authentic Fan Night here at the ballpark, and they're giving out these cheer cards that I'm holding in my hand right here. This Authentic Fan cheer card, and if you turn it around, what do you see? You see the Yolmer Sanchez Gatorade bath he gave to himself back in May. And he actually said before the game he was going to guarantee a triple. I don't think he's going to get a triple tonight, though, in honor of this placard. And he's featured in it. Check this out. This is really cool. This is like a classic moment from the season. It happened against these Twins. That was when Trace Thompson had the walk-off, May 3rd, 2018. I'm holding it. I don't think he's going to see me as he walks by. No, he doesn't. But anyway, he said he would try to get a triple. Another one. He leads the majors in triples. He's got 8 of them so far.
That looked like backyard baseball. That's a great look for Yolmer Sanchez, the life of the party.
He is that.
There's a strike. It's a big day in the Sox clubhouse with Joaquim Soria and Miguel Gonzalez and their teammates rooting hard for the team from Mexico to get into the next round of the World Cup. And some tough days for Germany.
Not anymore.
Well, it's going to be a tough 4 years.
They were taken out.
Indeed. One is down to Abreu, who homered last time and singled in the 4th.
He does seem like, speaking of Abreu, he does seem like he's out of his funk, doesn't he?
Those couple swings we've seen tonight have looked like it. That one's up the middle and off the ricochet. The Twins are going to get the out. 2 gone.
And speaking of which, here comes a guy who feels like he has gotten out of his funk, Daniel Palka. He does have 1 hit here tonight, and I was talking to him before the game, and he said he sometimes just gets too intense when he steps to the plate, and that starts some bad habits for him, but he is beginning to relax, and he actually points to a couple of at-bats he had against, of all people, Corey Kluber in Cleveland last week. He went deep into the count in both at-bats. Now, he didn't get hits out of it, but he got the pitch that he wanted against Kluber, and he said he had been in a funk for about a week and a half, but then that at-bat, or those 2 at-bats against Kluber, kind of got him where he needs to be. Hit that big home run against the A's, as we all know, a couple of days ago.
Well, Chuck, there's another factor, and that is now with Avi back, Daniel, when he does get his swings, he's going to get him as a designated hitter. And there's an adjustment when a guy has played in the field, as I'm sure he has most of his career, and then try to get 4 at-bats where you're not doing anything in between. So you try to keep warm. You try to maybe take some swings in the batting cage, do whatever you can do, but it's not necessarily an easy transition for a guy that's used to playing. Now he's not, and you still have to swing the bat 4 times a night. So could take a while for him to adjust.
To second, Dozier smothers it and retires the side. Hard hit, but nothing to show for it. To the 8th. First home run on Sunday with AAA Charlotte. Why not have the second one then? Straightaway center field. So Jimenez continues to pound the baseball. And Don Roach just announced as a AAA All-Star. Goes 8 innings at Durham, 6 hits, 1 run. He and Tiago Vieira will be headed to the AAA All-Star game from Charlotte.
How about 9-2 with 266 and 15 starts? That's a very good run at AAA, which is, as you know, pretty close to the major leagues. Xavier Cedeno comes in the game, so a fine job by James Shields. And Xavier comes out for the 10th time. He's given up nothing. Got a couple of holds, 11 strikeouts, and 7 1/3. And he's been throwing strikes and striking some people out. And he works to the top of the order.
This is just the second game with all the innings he's thrown and the bullpen saving he's done. Just the second game since May 6th. James Shields has left with the lead, which speaks to run support in part.
107 innings so far.
Ball 1 to Joe Mauer, who actually for his career, this might surprise you, has a higher on-base percentage than Tony Gwynn.
That surprises me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The walk totals certainly get him there, but we're talking top 100 in Major League history for Mauer. One.
Uh-oh, making a break for it.
Where are you going?
The guy said stop.
Wherever he wants to go is the answer to that. One, two. That was an awkward swing on a curveball.
Well, Joe knew it was too close to take, so he fought it off and kept the at bat alive.
Off himself.
And still kept the at bat alive.
Oh, the hopping's over.
It's all fun and games until the tears start.
That's exactly what I was told. I learned I was going to be working with you for these many years. One, two. Fouled off. James Shields in this game, by the way, has jumped up to 68th all-time in career strikeouts, passing El Presidente tonight, Dennis Martinez, at 21.53. Back to Cedeno, who claims out number 1.
Let's take a look at high-speed action powered by Xfinity, and it comes courtesy of Yoan Moncada. This is a blast. Escobar robbed of a base hit from his knee. Yoan makes a terrific play. The high-speed action courtesy of Moncada.
One down for Escobar. Who right now would be ending a streak that he would want to end. He has 12 straight games with a strikeout, despite a great season. 12 in a row with a strikeout. He's 0 for 3 on 3 balls in play tonight. Boy, Cedeno really works the corners.
He does that, and he's got a very surprising curveball because he throws straight over the top. It does look just like the fastball, only at the end the bottom falls out. It's great rotation on it. You might have spoken too soon.
Why is that?
Because if he strikes him out, he will not end the streak.
Oh, I thought on Cedeno working the corners.
Oh, no. He's working the corner nicely.
What you need to know is if I say one thing, I forget everything else that I've said before that.
It's a good trait.
Swing and a miss. Strike three. Pay your incidentals. Eduardo, 2 down.
So you cursed him is what you're saying.
That was intentional. That's what I do.
Last 2 pitches out of the zone, and that high curve, very effective. Wants to break the bat, but thinks better of it.
Twisting swing from Rosario, strike 1. You can learn a lot about a pitcher based on the swings they're getting.
Well, it tells you everything about deception. I mean, the stuff is one thing, but when they're taking very awkward swings, deception's a big part of it.
Did not go, says Jerry Davis. 1-1.
Jerry's arm might be getting a little sore from his 2 ejections tonight.
Paul Molitor, the manager of the Twins. Gene Glynn, the third base coach of the Twins. That moon continues to shift in the sky. There's a full moon on the rise.
Very good looking.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Don't need the sunglasses tonight.
It's bright here.
Fouled off again by Rosario. Now it's picture time. Well, you can't scowl for the picture. You got to smile. No, go back. Three and 2. Cedeno on Rosario. Breaking ball fouled off again. And the Twins dugout gets visited. The Xfinity Kid Zone overlooks left field and is accessible from all levels of guaranteed rate field. Space features batting and pitching cages, base running areas, and skill instruction for Chicago White Sox Training Academy coaches. While you're there, check out the latest Xfinity technology, including the X1 platform. That ball's tattooed to right field. Toward the corner it goes, and this ball is foul.
That ball was up and out of the strike zone, but Rosario thought it was too close to take, so he jumped on it. Hit it well, but well foul.
We showed you graphically in Minnesota how good of a bad ball hitter he is, and that continues to be the case. 3-2 again. Left-hand side, Garcia is there. 1-2-3 for Cedeno, protecting the shutout.
He comes in the ballgame on for the 40th time. We've seen him a couple times this year. He's a hard-throwing right-hander with 53 strikeouts in 36 innings. He was on last night for a third of an inning. Walked one, fan one.
We heard from Mark Shanowski the news about Dane Dunning, and he is scheduled to be out 6 to 8 weeks, rest and rehab. He has a moderate elbow sprain. No surgery right now after evaluation here in Chicago, so that's better news than it could have been for the Sox right-hander.
Not good, but anything that involves rest and no surgery is a better outcome. And Dunning was having a nice year.
Yeah, no surgery right now. He had just been promoted recently to Double-A. Started the season in Winston-Salem. He was before that wave of promotions over the minor league all-star break. So the hope is that he will, through rest and rehab, get better. But that's exactly the reason you try to compile a boatload of prospects, because there will be things that happen that you don't anticipate.
Still a very young pitcher, and if he comes back from this, which you would expect that he would, he still has a chance to pitch this year, although it might be so late in the season that they might want to just shut him down and rehab him all winter, get him ready for spring training.
Presley hums it inside, still 2-2. Twins will have Dozier, Kepler, and Grossman scheduled in the 9th. Avi stays alive again. You'll see a 7th pitch. If the scores hold, the Twins will have lost a game in the Central. Cleveland's up 5-1 in the 8th. Tigers lost 3-0, so Detroit 8 in a row in the loss column. In the air, foul territory, and this will find the seats.
Detroit trying to do it without Miguel Cabrera, and when he leaves your lineup, he's such a dominant force in the middle. If he's entirely healthy, he really wasn't healthy this year, but now he's lost for the season. And that is a big bat, and you just can't replace it.
No, they've tried, and John Hicks had a very nice season.
Yeah, I mean, he's done very well, but he's not going to give you, and nobody's really going to give you, what a healthy Miguel Cabrera could give you. This year, all season long, he just wasn't healthy.
2-2, lashed to left field by Garcia. To the wall. He's done it again. Back-to-back nights with a home run for Avi.
Pretty much the same pitch. This was a rolling breaking ball in the zone. And Avi hits his 3rd, drives in his 7th, and gets his 1st hit of the night. A forward home run replay, and Avi has shown himself to be a pretty good breaking ball hitter, especially a roller in the middle of the plate. Doesn't get it all, but gets enough of it. Just over the outstretched glove of Eddie Rosario, and a very happy fan.
6-0. So Avi Garcia with a hit in all 5 of his starts since he's come back. Good breaking ball, 0-2 on Leori Garcia. Sox won the opener yesterday by the count of 8-4 with 6 runs in their last 3 trips to the plate, and that was a late decision for out number 1 as we take a look at Verizon's projected starters for tomorrow afternoon's series finale. Jake Odorizzi and Lucas Giolito.
Lucas looking for win number 6. We're going to get that ERA down below 7, and if he throws it the way he did last time out, this will be a very happy team heading to Arlington, Texas.
Yeah, 7 innings plus a couple of batters, and you'd say his best outing of the year,
yeah,
right?
I thought he threw very well. Just stuff-wise, and forget the results of it. I was just looking at stuff, and it was really good. He was aggressive, was attacking the zone, and throwing it as well as he can throw it.
Boy, that is a sharp breaking ball Presley throws when he's throwing it well. One and 2, and Manaya getting loose.
We saw Juan last night for a third of an inning.
As the firework residue won't go away. It's like we're playing the game indoors right now.
Looks like the fog is rolling in, and the hound of the Baskervilles loping across the moors. Maybe not.
No, I agree. Omar Narvaez, who just got finished grilling 15 steaks, evidently. It's kind of eerie. Full moon, smoke in your eyes.
Told you to be careful going home. Look at that.
Holding control over us from a distance. On the ground to second base for out number 3. However, the reason for all of the fog and all of the smoke is this one swing glory from Avi Garcia to left field. 6-zip Sox.
sharing a photo or video with hashtag #HatsOffForHeroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
Get a new pitcher in the ball game. It is Juan Minaya. So for the second time in the series, he makes an appearance on for the 13th time. His ERA at 4.5. He's 0-2. And he's got to deal with the middle of the order as Adam Engel checks in center field, shifting Charlie Tilson over to left. Leuri's night is done, but not before he comes up with another couple of hits.
Minaya pumps in a strike on Dozier, who's 1 for 3. Not many hits on the board for Minnesota tonight, with James Shields allowing 4 and Cedeno 1-2-3-8. Check swing and no. Don't forget tomorrow's game, a 1:10 start time. That'll be on WGN with Jake Odorizzi facing Lucas Giolito, and then it is off to Tejas. Sox will play the Rangers for 3 in Arlington. Forecast highs call for 3 digits all 3 days.
So don't pack my sweaters.
I would leave the turtlenecks at home.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Two and 2. A little bit low.
Hey guys, I have an idea for you two in Texas.
Sure, Chuck.
I say we reverse a trend, and instead of me being in the elements, I want you guys to call the game in the elements in Texas.
Oh, absolutely. We'd be more than happy to if you follow us along there.
All it's going to take is me following you there, and you'll do it?
That is what we call a bluff.
Yeah, because you're not
Steve
coming.
Tespart took in. What do you want us to do it actually inside of an oven?
Well, just how about in the bleachers? Somewhere where it's nice and toasty. Call the game. Know what it's like to be me.
You know, when we sign off every night and I say tech manager Mark Harper?
Yeah.
Did you run this one by Mark Harper? I doubt he's going to be thrilled with that road setup.
You're just making excuses.
Oh, yes, I am. Anderson to first for out number 1. I love the idea, Chuck. And frankly, I think it would be a great idea because, you know, Steve sees the game so well from different angles. It's a great idea to have somebody anchored in the booth.
Well,
right?
look.
And then you can be the roving reporter.
No, but here's the thing. Having already broadcast from the bleachers on a couple of occasions,
yeah,
I believe that you should get that experience.
Oh, a couple years ago, we did a game down the third base line. It was tremendous, but I've done it.
But that wasn't the bleachers, though. That was in a nice area, very comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First pitch there, a strike to Max Kepler. James Shields, 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Scoreless baseball, his first scoreless start here in 2018.
Just an outstanding performance by James. Only 1 extra base hit. At who else? Ray Adrianza. And he gave up only 1 hit other than the 3 to Adrianza, and that was to Dozier.
Subaru White Sox postgame live follows us. On 2-1. Hit down the left field line and foul. The Sox swept the first series of the year, taking 2 from Kansas City And then the final game was postponed due to snow. And since then, the Sox have not swept a series. To left field, Charlie Tilson. 2 gone.
Just like we promised, it's time for the Miller Lite Hold True moment. And the night of James Shields, and it was a brilliant night. 7 innings, good sliders, no runs, only 4 hits, a couple of walks, 5 strikeouts, and starting from the opening pitch of the ball game, he was in control.
Pitched over an error in the 2nd inning, and the bases loaded, and that was by far the best Twins threat. Now Manaea to Grossman. Ball 1 with 2 out in the 9th. Two and 0. Some folks are standing, some are going to wait for the final strike warning.
Almost 20,000 here tonight, and they certainly have enjoyed this one. A lot of hitting, a lot of pitching.
2-0. Sox got 3 runs in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 8th. Strike 1, 3-1 to Grossman. Manaea cuts loose 3-1, and he misses outside. It's a 2-out walk. Mentioned the Sox will be on the road for quite a while before one last homestand prior to the All-Star break. 3 in Texas, 3 in Cincinnati after tomorrow's matinee.
And then the Houstons await. So a very difficult road trip. Very warm road trip.
Houston is 26 games over 500 right now. Cincinnati's playing its best ball of the season. And Texas has struggled in the AL West. There's strike 1 on Jake Cave. Forward looking.
You gotta love it. I can see it from here.
Oh, 2. One last snapshot of the game before a possible strike 3. Just missed.
Looked like the splitter just drifted outside.
One and 2, Manaea to Cave. And he fouls it off himself. What's taking so long, they say? Team Tyler's raring to go.
They're psyched up.
One and 2 again. Where is the final out? 3-2. Inside. 2 on, 2 out. Don Cooper begrudgingly to the phone.
He's just telling Ricky, look, I want to get somebody up, no, but I think it's probably prudent.
Pass. Live bullpen discussion.
And Don now, goes out to give the pen some time. Throw a few pitches.
Crowd remains standing as Manaea has a conversation with Don Cooper.
Pat Hoberg's going out there to break it up with Luis Avila ready to go.
And A-Ray Adrianza, who's 3 for 3 in the game, the opposition for Manaea. Shutout still available, but those numbers against the Sox are gaudy. Strike 1. Strike 2. Whatever stand and clap you've got left, time to use it. Oh, and 2. Second base and 3. It won't be a shutout tonight. Grossman scores. Cave into third.
4 for 4 for Adrianza. 17th driven in, and the game continues.
They're going to pinch hit for Wilson.
Go on. Just can't get to it.
It's going to be Logan Morrison, and he is going to face Luis Avila. It looks like.
And now they're going to check on Moncada, I believe.
So Herm Schneider comes out with Ricky Renteria, and Moncada.
Could be a tragic belt accident.
Yolmer Sanchez in apparel, apparently. Yolmer was going out to batting practice, and he was getting ready in the clubhouse, and he reached over because he didn't have his in his locker, and he took Charlie Tilson's pants before the game and came out to the field. Now he's got somebody else's belt that he's walking around with and hitting people with. Can't wait to hear what Belton Bill has to say about this situation. Luis Avila will come in, and we'll see whether or not there's another uniform malfunction tonight. 6-1 Sox.
It's about time. It's about time to end this one with Luis Avilan coming in on for the 35th time. He's 2-0 with ZRA a touch over 4. He inherits runners at the corners, a 5-run lead, and 1 out to get.
And he will face Logan Morrison, pinch hitting for Bobby Wilson. 2 out, nobody on, turned into 2 walks and a single. Breaking ball is in there for a strike. Morrison was 0 for 4 with 4 air outs last night. Oh and 1. A challenge for Avilan is, are you mentally in it in a game that looked like it wasn't going to be anybody but Minaya in the 9th?
Once they hand you the baseball and you're in it, not much you can do except go and get somebody out. In this case, you only need 1.
Cave at third, Adrianza at first. 1 ball, 2 strikes. One and 2. And that's it. It was worth the wait. Sox win and set up a possible sweep tomorrow.
Jose Abreu had a good night. Avilan ends it, and the Sox win the first 2 of this 3-game series.
Wasn't a shutout, but it's a win nonetheless. 2 hits for Tim Anderson, 2 hits for Leori Garcia, 2 hits for Abreu, including a home run. Avi set off the pinwheels as well, and Charlie Tilson goes 2 for 3. So multi-hit efforts all over the place for the Sox. 3 straight wins, including 2 against Minnesota. And look, you got a chance for the sweep tomorrow in day baseball before you hit the road, and this team's playing some pretty good baseball right now.
Sox doing just about everything right in this series especially, but they've been playing better baseball for the better part of 2 weeks heading into this series after the 8-game losing streak where nothing really went right. Sox have started to hit the ball. The reappearance of the Garcias certainly have helped the lineup, and the starting pitching by and large has been pretty good. So if the bullpen gets straightened out somewhat, Sox probably have their best baseball this year ahead of them. And this series has been entertaining so far.
You mentioned the returning Garcias. Chuck Garfien is downstairs with one of them.
So Avi, 5 starts, got a hit in all 5 games, home runs in back-to-back games. Do you feel like you're getting closer to where you were last year?
Yeah, I'm getting closer. And I've been working really hard. You know, I've been out for like 2 months, and I've been working really hard to come back to feel like the same way that I feel last year. So.
Does that feel better or worse?
That's good. That's good, yeah. That's good, thank you.
And Yohan Moncada, who lost his belt, was a part of that.
Yeah, unbelievable. Come on, bro. Yeah.
All right, one last question. James Shields, what has he meant to the team?
I mean, a lot. He's a veteran. He pushed everybody to be the best we can be, and, you know, we appreciate that he's in our team, and, you know, he pushed everybody to go hard every single day.
And I appreciate that you stuck around even though you have Gatorade all over you.
Yeah, thank you.
Avi Garcia and all sorts of Gatorade leaving the shot. Back up to you guys.
Chuck, thank you. Nice bail, and Avi gets it twice. A waterfall of a win for the Sox and Avisail Garcia. 6-1 your final score. We say goodnight for our producer Keon Dolashahi, our director Jim Angio, associate producer Dave Ross, technical manager Mark Harper, the executive producer Greg Bowman, and our entire wonderful NBC Sports crew. For Chuck Carfine downstairs, for Steve Stone up here, I'm Jason Benetti. So long from Guaranteed Rate Field. Coming up next, Subaru White Sox post-game live after a win. You've been watching Chicago White Sox baseball on NBC Sports Chicago, and we thank you. Good night.